Greetings, domestic DIYers. Today we have an A-class 169. It's not my wife's, although it's almost the same model and the same color. This one will go to another family member, and the car has many issues. It came very cheap, so I decided to purchase it and fix everything that's wrong with it. There were some surprises, like it had a leak in thermostat. We fixed that, but the main issue was that because the engine is at an angle and the thermostat is on the top of it, it has one bolt in front and two behind, and when it was leaking, because the previous driver was operating it with water and not coolant, the water was leaking on the back two bolts, and when we tried to unscrew them, they just broke. And when we welded nuts and tried to again unscrew them, they kept breaking below the well. So the main takeaway from this is, do not drive your car with water instead of coolant. I think the main issue here is that the car is from Italy, where it's kind of warm all year, and when we say coolant here in Europe, we often use the word antifreeze, which is not correct, because people think that because it's antifreeze, it's only for the winter, so that the car doesn't freeze, but it's actually more than that. As you car guys know, it's like a lubricant that also takes care of the water pump, and it prevents corrosion in the cooling system. So if you drive your car with water, it will rust all over, and that led to, when it leaked, it rusted the back bolts, and we had to like drill them and make new threads and stuff like that. So that is out of the picture now. What we are going to fix today is the steering rack, which is below this thing. I will try to show it to you. It's there somewhere. That's like big thing with this motor. This motor below the air filter right there is part of the steering rack. And the issue we are having right now is that when you turn the wheel to one side, it functions normally, okay, but when you turn it to the other side, it's very hard, like you don't have power steering at all. So I already got a replacement one from a junkyard for around there it is, for around 150 euro, and we will mount that today. Why I didn't recycle it, or how do you call it? We call it recycle here, but I think the other word is like rebuilding. So they quoted me between 280 and 380 euro just for the refurbishing, recycling, or whatever of the steering rack, and another like 200 euro for dismounting and mounting the steering rack. So it was a lot cheaper just to get a spare one from a junkyard, used one, and to do it myself. And that is what we're going to do today. Also, there is a bit of a play in the steering wheel, which I don't know if you can see now, but this shouldn't be like that. Your steering wheel shouldn't do that. Like I'm moving it with one finger and it's locked. It shouldn't do that. So the other part we got is this one. It's a steering column, or I don't know what it's called in English, but yeah, it's basically two U-joints and a rod. But the main thing is that these two rods go one inside the other. Like this one goes inside this one here, and you can regulate the length. This comes handy when you try to disassemble this without removing the steering rack, because you can just push this inside and take out the whole rod. Today we are going to remove the steering rack, so we don't actually need this functionality, but it's just good to know. So I'm going to start now, and I will speed things up and maybe cut some things that are not so interesting to you guys, like removing the air filter, which is pretty easy. You just unscrew those two bolts, move the ECU out of the way, and then very important to detach this one from here. Like you just squeeze here, and if I have another hand I can do it, but I'm holding the camera. And once you have this vacuum tube detached, you also detach this thing here, this hose, this air duct, and then you unscrew this bolt, and there is one behind here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. And then you can pull this box out completely, and then you have space to work on the rack. So let's go. That's a Torx 20, and that's an E10. And then you twist this thing here, and then you just pull to the side to dismount it from the throttle body, and you just pull. There we go. And there we have the steering rack. That's the motor, that's the U-joint that we have to disconnect from the steering column, and that's the rack itself. It goes both ways. Someone has previously removed this rack, apparently, because you will
see in a second what I mean. This thing here is pretty banged up, like someone smashed it with a hammer or something, and you can see there's a lot of plate in it. Like, see this? Like a lot of plate. Like in the new one that I got, there is no such thing. So yeah, I'm actually glad that we are going to remove this here. Yeah, we'll try to remove the rack first, but for this we have to remove the wheels and detach the, how do you call it? In Bulgarian it's kormilni na krajnici, steering rack ends, literally. But I think in English it's like some kind of links. So, an unexpected setback once again. On this wheel, I was able to remove all of the bolts except this one. And I tried everything. I tried the impact hammer, like this guy, and I kept it pressed for like a good 15-20 seconds and nothing. It doesn't even budge. And I even tried this little guy, what we call in here the I wasn't asking stick. And still it doesn't move. But that's not all. When I got to this side, look what we have here. Do you see something missing? Yep, this little piggy went shopping, and the only thing that held the disc were the five lug bolts. Well, it's not that bad actually, because it's not something that prevents the car from driving, but it tells you a lot about the maintenance of the car itself. So yeah, I think we have a lot more work on this car than I previously thought. Okay, we have progress. We've managed to disconnect this link here to the steering rack, and despite not being able to take off the wheel, we have managed to disconnect the other one too. We have removed this bolt here that holds the steering rack, and we almost got this one out too. This one here, the rusted one. We've managed to take out the nut here and the bolt, as you see there, but we are still not able to knock out this bolt from this side. Maybe I will try heat it up and then hit it some more. But yeah, we're making progress. Actually, this last bolt that I showed you is the last thing we need to take out before being able to remove the old rack and mount the new one. So stay tuned. And there it is, ladies and gents, the last bolt. We are now ready to remove the old rack and put the new one in. So you can see it moves freely, this side and this side too. more or less, because we still haven't disconnected the cables and the steering column. So that's what we are going to do now. This one you don't have to remove because it goes around and enters here. But yeah, you've gotta remove the other two. This one here, they are three, 1, 2, 3, and the outer one you don't have to remove. You have to remove this one and this one. And let me see now. There it is, one off, and the other one. There they are. See, one big one and one small one. And we will put those aside. There is a like mounting clip for the cables. Okay, we are ready to start pulling this thing out. A bit of progress and a bit of disassembly. So I came to the conclusion that it is impossible to remove the steering rack without disassembling the front of the car. So what I did is I detached the mounts for the radiators, this and this here. Those things, they sit like this, and you just twist and pull and it gets out like this. So, and then you just pull the whole assembly up and it gets out of those holes. So I believe I will be able to extract the rack from this hole here. The old one is out. All right, it's about 6 p.m. and we started at 8:30 a.m. But we are finally ready for assembly. All we have to do is remove this shaft here, this one, which is moving freely. I will just pull it out from inside, and we can then mount the steering rack, the steering shaft, this thing, the new one, because this one, as I already said, has a lot of play. You can see here it moves a lot, and it shouldn't. would have been a lot easier if I had another set of hands here to help me, but we do what we can with what we have. All right, we've mounted the steering shaft, and now we will continue with putting in the rack itself. And the most important thing before you start is to turn the rack all the way to the right, because this way you will have less space needed for it to go in, because we are pushing it this way and then that way, and when you turn it all the way to the right, you shorten this here distance. Let's do it. Be careful not to bend any parts of your air conditioning system, and also the cooling fans of the car itself. Okay, we're almost ready. Just like everything else, when you know what you're doing, it's quite easy. Back to the other side. All right. Ladies and gents, now we have it. The rack is in. All we have to do is the assembly. This thing here has to go in. And yeah, I will show you the final result. We've mounted the rack, it's inside, it's connected with the steering shaft. Let me show you. There it is, connected with the shaft. There it is, the shaft. There's the rack with the motor. We've already connected these here, the links, and I've mounted the radiator at its spot, and now we start final assembly of the whole vehicle. And voila! The car is fully assembled. You can see everything under the hood, the bumper. I replaced some bolts that were missing on the bumper. The important thing is the final result, and that is that the car has almost all its problems fixed. I think only oil change and back brake pads remain, but that will be another time. It's already 9 p.m. and my wife is considering side maybe. Please don't demonetize me. Wait, we are not paid for this, so yeah, like the video if you liked it, subscribe. This motivates us to make more content, because if no one watches it, why should we even bother? Thank you for watching, and see you in our next video.